Then the swarthy fellow appeared, wearing a casual jacket made of fine dark green silk, topped by a crow-green cape of figured damask. He wore a head wrap of black cloth and was shod in a pair of black suede boots. When he saw Pilgrim entering, he tidied his clothes and went down the steps to receive him, saying, "Golden Pool, old friend, we haven't seen each other for days. Please take a seat. Please take a seat." Pilgrim greeted him ceremoniously, after which they sat down and drank tea. After tea, the monster bowed low and said, "I just sent you a brief note, humbly inviting you to visit me the day after tomorrow. Why does my old friend grant me that pleasure today, already? I was just coming to pay my respects," said Pilgrim. "And I did not anticipate meeting your kind messenger. When I saw that there was going to be a festival of the Buddha robe, I came hurriedly, hoping to see the garment. My old friend may be mistaken," said the monster, laughing. "This cassock originally belonged to the Tang monk, who was staying at your place. Why would you want to look at it here, since you must surely have seen it before? Your poor monk," answered Pilgrim. "Did borrow it, but he did not have the opportunity last night to examine it before it was taken by the great king. Moreover, our monastery, including all our belongings, was destroyed by fire, and the disciple of that Tang monk was rather bellicose about the matter. In all that confusion, I couldn't find the cassock anywhere, not knowing that the great king and his good fortune found it. That is why I came specially to see it." As they were speaking, one of the little demons out on patrol came back to report, "Great King, disaster. The junior officer who went to deliver the invitation was beaten to death by Pilgrim Sen and left by the wayside. Our enemy followed the clue and changed himself into the Golden Pool Elder so that he could obtain the Buddha robe by fraud." When the monster heard that, he said to himself, "I was wondering already why he came today, and in such a hurried manner too. So, it's really Leaping up, he grabbed his lance and aimed it at Pilgrim. Whipping out the rod from his ear, Pilgrim assumed his original form and parried the lance. They rushed from the living room to the front courtyard, and from there they fought their way out to the front door. The monsters in the cave were frightened out of their wits. Young and old in that household were horror-stricken. This fierce contest before the mountain was even unlike the last one. What a fight! This monkey king boldly posed as a monk. That swarthy chap wisely concealed the robe. Back and forth went their clever repartee, adapting to each instant perfectly. He would see the cassock but had no means. This runic treasure's a mystery indeed. The small imp on patrol announced mishap. The old fiend in anger showed his power. They fought their way out of the Black Wind Cave. The rod and the lance forced a trial by might. The rod checked the lance, their noise resounding. The lance met the rod, causing sparks to fly. The changes of Wukong, all unknown to men. The monster's magic skills, so rare on Earth. This one wanted for his birthday fate a Buddha robe. Would that one with no cassock go home in peace? The bitter fight this time seemed without end. Even a live Buddha descending could not break them up. From the entrance of the cave, the two of them fought up to the peak of the mountain, and from the peak of the mountain they fought their way up to the clouds. Belching wind and fog, kicking up sand and rocks, they fought until the red sun sank toward the west, but neither of them could gain the upper hand. The monster said, "Hey, son. Stop for a moment. It's getting too late to fight anymore. Go away. Come back tomorrow morning, and we'll decide your fate. Don't run away, my son," cried Pilgrim. "If you want to fight, act like a fighter. Don't give me the excuse that it's getting late." With his rod, he rained blows indiscriminately on his opponent's head and face, but the swarthy fellow changed once more into a clear breeze and went back to his cave. Tightly bolting his stone doors, he refused to come out. Pilgrim had no alternative except to go back to the Guanyin Hall. Dropping down from the clouds, he said, "Master." Tripitaka, who was waiting for him with bulging eyes, was delighted to see him. But when he did not see the cassock, he became frightened again. "How is it that you still have not brought back the cassock?" he asked. Pilgrim took out from his sleeve the invitation slip and handed it over to Tripitaka, saying, "Master, the monster and that old carcass used to be friends. He sent a little demon here with this invitation for him to go to a festival of the Buddha robe. I killed the little demon and changed into the form of the old monk to get inside the cave. I managed to trick him into giving me a cup of tea, but when I asked for the cassock, he refused to show it to me. As we were sitting there, my identity was leaked by someone on patrol in the mountain, and we began to fight. The battle lasted until this early evening and ended in a draw. When the monster saw that it was late, he slipped back into the cave and tightly bolted up his stone door. Old Monkey had no choice but to return here for the moment. How's your skill as a fighter when compared with his?" asked Tripitaka. "Not much better," said Pilgrim. "We are quite evenly matched." Tripitaka then read the invitation slip and handed it to the abbot, saying, "Could it be that your master was also a monster spirit?" Falling to his knees, the abbot said, "Old father, my master is human. Because that great Black King attained the way of humanity through self-cultivation, he frequently came to the monastery to discuss religious texts with my master. He imparted to my master a little of the magic of nourishing one's spirit and ingesting breath. Hence they address each other as friends. This bunch of monks here," said Pilgrim, "don't have the aura of monsters. Each one has a round head pointing to the sky and a pair of feet set flat on the earth. They are a little taller and heavier than Old Monkey, but they are no monsters. Look at what's written on the slip, your student servant, the bear. This creature must be a black bear who has become a spirit." Tripitaka said, "I have heard from the ancients that the bear and the ape are of the same kind. They are all beasts, in other words. How can this bear become a spirit? Old Monkey is also a beast," said Pilgrim, laughing. "But I became the great sage, equal to heaven. Is he any different? All the creatures of this world who possess the 9 apertures can become immortals through the art of self-cultivation. You just said that the two of you were evenly matched," said Tripitaka again. "How can you defeat him and recover my cassock?" "Lay off. Lay off," said Pilgrim. "I know what to do." As they were discussing the matter, the monks brought in the evening meal for master and disciple. Afterwards, Tripitaka asked for lamps to go to the Chan Hall in front to rest. The rest of the monks reclined against the walls beneath some temporary awnings and slept, while the back rooms were given to accommodate the senior and junior abbots. It was now late. You see, the silver stream aglow, the air perfectly pure, the sky full of bright and twinkling stars, the river marked by receding tide. All sounds are hushed. All hills emptied of birds. The fisherman's fire dies by the brook. The lamps grow faint on the pagoda. Last night Akarias sounded drums and bells. Only weeping is heard throughout this night. So they spent the night in the Chan Hall, but Tripitaka was thinking about the cassock. How could he possibly sleep well? As he tossed and turned, he suddenly saw the windows growing bright. He arose at once and called, "Wukong, it's morning. Go find the cassock quickly." Pilgrim leapt up with a bound and saw that the monks were bringing in washing water. "All of you," said Pilgrim, "take care to minister to my master. Old Monkey is leaving." Getting up from his bed, Tripitaka clutched at him, asking, "Where are you going?" "Come to think of it," said Pilgrim, "this whole affair reveals the irresponsibility of the Bodhisattva Guanyin. She has a Chan Hall here where she has enjoyed the incense and worship of all the local people, and yet she can permit a monster spirit to be her neighbor. I'm leaving for the South Sea to find her for a little conversation. I'm going to ask her to come here and demand that the monster return the cassock to us." "When will you be back?" asked Tripitaka. "Probably right after breakfast," answered Pilgrim. At the latest, I should be back around noon, when everything should be taken care of. All of you monks must take care to wait on my master. Old Monkey is leaving. He said he was leaving, and the next instant he was already out of sight. In a moment, he arrived at the South Sea, where he stopped his cloud to look around. He saw a vast expanse of ocean, where water and sky seemed to merge. Auspicious light shrouded the earth. Hallowed air brightened the world. Endless snow-capped waves surged up to heaven. Layers of misty billows washed out the sun. Water flying everywhere. Waves churning all around. Water flying everywhere rolled like thunderclaps. Waves churning all around boomed like cannonade. Speak not merely of water. Let's look more at the center. The treasure-filled mountain of 5 dazzling colors. Red, yellow, green, deep purple, and blue. If this be Guanyin's scenic region true, look further at Potalaka of South Sea. What a splendid place! The tall mountain peak, cut through airy space. In its midst were thousands of rare flowers. 100 kinds of divine herbs. The wind stirred the precious trees. The sun shone on the golden lotus. Glazed tiles covered the Guanyin Hall. Tortoiseshell spread before the tidal sound cave. In the shades of green willow the parrot spoke. Within the bamboo grove the peacock sang. On rocks with grains like fingerprints, the guardians fierce and solemn. Before the cornalline foreshore,